Well, what do you know about EtherChannel? Well, there's many more things than you actually think. Find out next, right here on IT Pro TV.
You're watching IT Pro TV.
That's right. We are going to take a look at troubleshooting EtherChannel, and here to help us to actually understand some of the difficult things that can happen, Mr. Anthony Sakura. Anthony, when we talk about EtherChannel, I always thought, well, it's simple enough. We should be able to set up, but you actually told me right before the show, it can actually become very complex. What's going on here?
Yeah, it really can be. There's some definite gotchas here. And remember, just like with trunking, we want to start by making sure that we're attacking the correct interfaces. So we look at this topology and we realize, okay, it's gigabit 0/1 and 0/2 that we want to bundle together, and check both sides. Make sure you know what interfaces you're going to be using. And then what you want to do is layer 2 or layer 3, you need to make sure that the underlying physical interfaces are twins. Think about the old Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito movie, absolute identical twins.
Absolute identical twins.
That's right.
Okay.
Even though in that movie they weren't. I guess that was the joke of the movie.
But the overall idea is simple, right? For us, the configuration on the interfaces, they should be identical on both ends.
Yep.
And then depending on how many links that we have, those should also be identical?
Yes.
Okay.
Any interfaces that you're going to bundle together. Now, I've built in a little problem for us. Watch this. This can happen. Trust me. It happened to Ronnie and I before the show. Watch this. If I do a show, how about this? Show interface trunk, Ronnie. So we do a show interface trunk, and the two that we want to bundle together are 0/1 and 0/2, and they certainly look like twins here, right?
They do.
Both in on mode, 802.1q, trunking, same native VLAN. Okay, great. Let's bundle them. So the first thing I would recommend, by the way, is get in your interface range, and we're going to say the range of those two interfaces, and go ahead and shut them down. The reason you would do this is you don't want to configure one side of this Ether channel and then have it be incompatible with the other side. Remember, we can build our Ether channels dynamically using PAGP or LACP, or we can build them statically. You don't want some incompatibility. So shutting down will guard against that problem. Now that we're shut down, I issue channel, group, pick a locally significant number, just make sure it's not already in use, and then your mode. And just a quick review here, for modes, we have the PAGP modes of auto and desirable, and PAGP is frowned upon. A lot of Cisco switches aren't even shipping with it anymore. The Open Standard Link Aggregation and Control Protocol, LACP, is the preferred method of doing dynamic, and notice that's active and passive for the mode options.
Is that just because it's Cisco proprietary, or is there something else?
Right. PAGP really ended up becoming frowned upon even by Cisco themselves because it's their proprietary way to do it. So we're going to do a mode on example. We'll statically configure this layer 2 Ether channel. So I issue that command. Notice it creates the port channel for me, the logical interface representing those two physical. And now, okay, we should be good. Wait a minute, let's go configure the other side before we no shut. So I'm going to go over to switch 2, and on switch 2, I am going to do a interface range, gigabit 0/1 through 2. I think I have an extra space there. No. Okay, good. And I'm going to do my channel, group 1, mode on. Okay. End. And okay, this is interesting. That's just the port channels coming up. But the interfaces can't come up because the other side is down. Let me do my no shut on those interfaces on the other side. And we are looking good. Uh-oh. Yep.
Cannot
and
bundle.
So look at this. We have a link in that bundle that's in suspended state. Now, remember when we talk troubleshooting, we have those primary troubleshooting commands I said, and the secondary, we mentioned that when we were troubleshooting trunks together. So here, the primary show command on some switches is going to be show ether channel, and Ronnie loves, and I do too, the summary keyword there.
Absolutely.
So show ether channel summary becomes our primary command. On some switches, that's going to not exist. You're going to do show port channel, and I think you do summary as well there.
Right.
So just be careful on those differences between the switches. But there you can see it, Ronnie. We have a port channel that is in use, layer 2, it's up, but the problem we're having is that one of the links is suspended.
Right.
So we are not getting any bang for our buck here. We're only sending traffic over one link in the bundle.
Now, if I remember correctly, though, the output that we saw from the message itself kind of led us to what the issue should be, right?
It did, yeah. Look at this. Read your error messages, because it says right up here, it is not, gigabit 0/2 is not compatible with gigabit Ethernet 0/1 and will be suspended. Trunk mode of gigabit 0/2 is trunk. Gigabit 0/1 is access.
Ah, okay.
Whoa, so what is going on? What we really should have done is we really should have gone in and done a show run. I did that show interface trunk and said, oh yeah, they're twins, but we really didn't scrutinize the configuration under the physical interface. So there's the physical interface config of gigabit 0/1 on this device. Let me do a show run interface gigabit 0/2. And okay, those look identical. Let's go over to the switch 1 device, show run interface gigabit 0/1. So there's my config, show run interface gigabit 0/2. See
Different
any
as well.
differences?
Yeah, that access. So here we have switch port mode trunk and the encapsulation on one of them. On the other side, they were one of them was an access port, and right there as well. Yep, switch port no negotiate was not there too.
Yeah, so we have inconsistencies here, and that caused problems. One of the things you notice is I've turned off negotiation under the 0/1. I have not done that under 0/2. Not good. So you gotta have those underlying physical interfaces configured as twins. So here's what I'm going to do. Boy, this gets really tricky. Watch this. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to go and make them twins. I will go in under the 0/1 where we had the negotiation turned off, and I will negate that. So I'm going to say no switch port, no negotiation. That's a double negative. There we go. So now those twins, those interfaces are twins in their configuration. We've still got problems, and that's going to be because the port channel is picking up the configuration. It's essentially inheriting the config, and now it's off from what the physical is. And at this point, you may want to just go in and negate the entire thing. So I'm going to go in and say, you know what? I just want to start anew here. So I'm going to go interface range gigabit 0/1 to 2, no channel group 1 mode on, and we want to get rid of this ether channel config, which is, got issues in it. And again, I'm suggesting don't even go this far, right? Don't get yourself in this kind of trouble. Let's do our show ether channel summary. We see it's still there, so I need to do no interface port dash channel 1 and get rid of the interface. Now are we back to nothingness? Good, we are. Let me do one more time. It's worth it. Let's look at the underlying physical interface configurations and make sure they are identical. Those look identical. Good. Let's go over here and do a show run interface gigabit 0/1. So on this side, I want to get rid of the port channel. So no channel group 1 mode on. And we're going to do that for the second one. And now I'll do my show run interface gigabit 0/1. Okay, nothing much going on under that port. And the second port. Okay. Let's try it again, shall we?
So essentially what happened when we misconfigure, it looks like we have to take everything off and rebuild it.
We could go in and repair, but we're going to have to go under the logical. Right. And, you know, it's just, when we make a mistake like that, it's worth just ripping it out, I think. Mm-hmm. Let's try this again. Interface gigabit 0/1 to 2. Come on, Anthony, you can do it. And then, my goodness, don't forget the range command. And many of you are watching right now going, just use the up arrow, Anthony. Okay, so I'm going to shut down those physical. And we're going to make sure they shut down. There we go. And now we'll try our channel group. And we are going to do channel group 1 mode on. And we are going to do the configuration over on switch 2. Interface range 0/1 to 2. And we are going to do channel group 1 mode on. Remember, those channel group identifiers are locally significant. They don't need to match. I'll do my no shut on the physical interfaces, and let's see how we do this time. There's our physical interfaces coming up. There's our port channel. We are looking really good here. Show EtherChannel summary, and happy, nice. happy. If you are new to the EtherChannel summary command, spend some time with it. You know, Ronnie and I know at a glance that the uppercase P's are a good thing. Yep. That sounds like a good band name, the uppercase P's.
It does.
What am I thinking? The Black Eyed Peas. That's what I was thinking of. So we're bundled in the port channel. As you can see, that's great news. The port channel itself is SU, and that stands for layer 2, and the capital U is in use. So we are good. You know, something else that we're going to be covering, Ronnie, is spanning tree protocol. And this had an impact,
right,
for sure, on spanning tree protocol. If we do a show spanning tree for like VLAN 1, we're going to see that, yeah, we have a port channel that is now as part of that spanning tree. So those two individual links are being treated as one link from a spanning tree perspective. And that's hugely important.
All right, so Anthony, as we go through, by default, when we set this up, we know it's setting up at layer 2 because we saw it in the show EtherChannel summary. But what about the layer 3 here? What do we need to do with that?
Yeah, here's the deal with the layer 3 EtherChannel. The big thing that you want to do on that one that's different is you create the port channel first. That's the key. So you're going to go in and you're going to say, interface port channel, and you'd give it a number, let's say it's 10, and you create that port channel interface first. The way we did it with channel group first, it created the port channel automatically for us. When we do our layer 3 EtherChannel, the big gotcha is we come in and we create the logical first, and we say no switch port, and then we would give an IP address. I'll just make one up here. And once we have that configured, the logical, then we go ahead and we bind it to the twin interfaces. And in this case, they would be no switch port. We need them to be routed interfaces that we're bundling together. Make sense?
It does make sense. So just help us distinguish. So if I were actually CCNA and asking this, like, why would I choose to use a layer 3 over a layer 2? What's the scenario that I would see something like that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we do the layer 2 ether channel typically for those big layer 2 trunks. I say big meaning we want high bandwidth, high reliability of a trunk, where if we have a link fail, it's not going to cause us a problem. Now, in a routed environment, we could basically have the same logic where we want a bunch of links all to act as one, but we are doing a layer 3 link between the two devices. So we're not dealing with a trunk there. We're just doing a really high bandwidth, high reliability bundle between those two routed endpoints.
Okay, so that actually does help us to clarify and understand when we might actually choose to use one over the other. Now, are there any other common issues that we have to actually worry about besides what we've been taking a look at here? So it seems like, at least for what I saw, the best practice for us is if we start seeing that, tear it all down, and then just kind of step by step make sure we start all over and get it back in.
And really, I want to emphasize this. We want to start with that show run interface command. That is so critical. You're going to want to look at that physical configuration under that physical interface for those devices you're going to bundle. And one more thing, Ronnie, you just made me think of, thank you. There is something that you would want to check before you even get to this point, and that is, what are the ether channel capabilities on your device? It could be 4 links that you can bundle on a certain platform. It could be 8. It could be 16. So you need to make sure that you're aware of the capabilities on your platform. Remember too, you might have PAG-P as an option. You might not have PAG-P as an option. So you'll want to look at that closely as well.
Now, Anthony, just an opinion question at this point. If you were to choose between the idea here of setting it statically or to use dynamically, which one would you choose in a real production environment?
Yeah, in a real production environment, if given the option, I'm going to go for static.
Okay.
For sure. If there are some scenarios where you must use LACP. There's sometimes, like when we want to bundle with a wireless LAN controller from Cisco systems, it's going to be expecting LACP and we would have to use it. So, long answer, but it's the correct one, I think, of we avoid PAG-P, typically now at all costs. We might be forced into LACP, and if not, go ahead and use that mode on to statically configure your ether channel.
All right, well, thank you again for helping to lead us through a little bit of at least a troubleshooting example that we could take a look for ether channel. We've talked about setting it statically, as well as the list that you have to memorize when it comes down to the different commands between LACP and, of course, PAG-P. Make sure you know those if you're actually getting ready for the exam as well.
I love the LACP. Yeah. I've never heard that before. Yeah. I love LACP. I'm going to use that.
So make sure you understand that. And then at the end here, one of the things, right, that Anthony kind of emphasized, shut down before you do the configuration. That's going to probably save you a lot of headaches, because if you bring them up and they're already still in flux, you may end up with a problem which you have to tear down again to actually bring back up. Well, that's a great place for us to also end this episode then. Signing off for IT Pro TV, I'm your host, Ronnie Wong.
And I'm Anthony Sequeira.
Stay tuned right here for more of your CCNP Encore show.
Thank you for watching IT Pro TV.